Okay, so this afternoon I'm going to be talking a little bit about hunting morels in Iowa. So this is the end of April, and we've had a good amount of rainy days, and then it gets nice a little bit and a little warmer, and that's good time in Iowa for picking these. Now, the two signs that you know that they'll be ready is that if your dandelions are blooming a lot in your yard, not the ditches, but the yard. So as you can see, we have tons of dandelions in our yard bloom. And also if your lilac bushes are blooming, and ours are starting to bloom. So there you go. And rain. Like I said, we've been getting a good amount of rain. So now, we do not like these. We don't like to eat these. Our neighbors like to eat them, and we like to be able to pick them and find them for them to give to them to make them happy because they are unable to go find them, or sometimes, people can't find them and other people can. So if we find them or we go look for them, we like to be able to give them to our neighbors to make them happy. So, okay, so really quick, so one thing about them is that you just want to make sure they're hollow. Otherwise, they'll be poisonous kind that look like this, but they're not hollow, and then they're poisonous, so don't get those. There's other mushrooms that you can pick. I don't really know them because we don't eat mushrooms, but there'll be some out there that are non-poisonous, but then there are some that are poisonous, so just look it up, before you go and eat a mushroom. But for morels, hollow, then you're good. So, and then also there's 6 types of trees that you can find these around: elm, ash, apple, sycamore, cottonwood, and tulip. Tulip trees, though, are only found in southeastern of the United States. So we don't have those in Iowa. But we do have elm, ash, cottonwood, apple, and sycamore trees. So my husband found these earlier today, and in about 10 minutes he found 4. They were kind of in a patch. Now he left more than what he picked. So, then you don't want to pick them all, of course, because then they probably won't come back. And also, when you pick them, you don't want to pull the whole root out. So just kind of pinch the base of it. Like, when you pick asparagus or something, you're not pulling the whole thing out of the ground. So just pinch the base of it and leave a little bit left. And then also, if you're in the woods or around the trees and you're collecting these, you can put them in a bag, and then that way you're shaking the spores out, and then so then they come back, because there's a lot of times, and actually even our neighbor, she's lived here her whole life, and she, throughout her whole life, of course they've had mushrooms and stuff, but then people want to come and pick them on your land and things like that, and then they're not courteous, right? They don't think about other people, so they're just yanking them out, and then they don't come back, right? So now she's sad, they don't come back. So that's why, especially for her, we like to give these to her. But that's just a reason to be courteous, and also for yourself, you don't want to, you want them to come back. So, all right. So, and then another quick tip with the bag, I forgot to say this. So when you're carrying these around and you want to spread the spores out so that will keep them from coming back every year, make sure your bags have holes in them. So like an onion sack or like a netting. A netting would be a good idea, right? Because the spores could come out. So like a netting or an onion sack. So not just like a closed up bag, right? So that way these things can come onto the ground. But yeah, so, and like I said, we don't eat them, but, our neighbors like them. I guess they just fry them up, or, who knows. I'm sure there's a lot of recipes you can find for these if you like to find them. And also, an important thing when you find these is that, I guess, for people who like them, they're pretty special. So you shouldn't probably tell people where you find yours. That wouldn't be good, because then they might come and pick them before you can pick them. So I guess in Iowa or in other places, it's a joke for people who love these, is that when you find them, they like to keep it hidden. But for us, we like to find them, but we like to give them. So we don't necessarily tell people where we found them, but we will find them and give them to you. So so it's kind of a funny joke, but but yeah, so this is what they look like. And remember, hollow, not solid, and just enjoy them if you find them, if you like them. Okay, so another quick thing is that is about the trees. So it's really important to know your trees, because like I said, I named those 6 types of trees, that these are around. So, it could be frustrating if you didn't know what types of trees were in the woods that you were looking in, right? So not like our apples in our apple orchard. Of course, there's not going to be these in our orchard, because these are newer trees. I mean, they're 10 to 12 years old, but for mushrooms, that's kind of new. And this is our yard. This has been our yard. So really, these around the base of an old trees, of those 6 trees in the woods that are nobody lives there. It's kind of rotted, it's kind of moist, they need moisture, of course, and things like that. So that's why it's really good to know those 6 types of trees, which were ash, elm, cottonwood, apple, like old apple, sycamore, and the tulip if you are in the southeastern part of the United States. So that way, when you're going around, you're not just walking aimlessly in the woods, not knowing where to look, and you could get frustrated, right? So if you know in your woods or wherever you're able to pick these or look for these, find those trees, and if the conditions are right and God wills that you find them, you will find them. So of course, that is important as well. So all right, well, enjoy them if you like them, and not good luck, but God be with you when you find them.